topic. I'm not defensive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. We're back from Poland. We're back from seeing the Blues making history. And I'm back bringing you all the latest transfer news, guys. Big up to every single one of you who's locked in. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. And whilst I was away, guys, we had big news. Liam Delap has chosen to join Chelsea. Deal agreed. £30 million release clause to be activated. Medical booked. Deal to be announced imminently. We've got the latest on the news for Hugo Ekitike, latest on Emmanuel Amiga, latest on Jadon Sancho of Chelsea and talks over his representatives about making that loan move permanent. We got Spurs interested in Christopher Nkunku. Ipswich want Mark Guiu on loan, but he's not convinced about joining the Championship outfit. Plus, we've also got loads and loads of other news as well, guys, to dive into. It feels like it's been a while since I've been live, but we're back. It feels good to be back. And yeah, let's make this another top show as always, guys. Before I say hello to some of you lovely lot in the chat, before we dive into the show, guys, just a quick reminder. Check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. 20% off the new Chelsea home shirt. Make sure you use a link in the description. Code Blue Brother. Make sure you're looking good in the new shirt for next season, guys. Great quality, affordable prices. Check it out. Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link in the description. Use code Blue Brother for 20% off. And of course, guys, if you are feeling generous, please do scan the QR code and donate to myself and the channel. Any amount is greatly appreciated, no matter how big or small. Chat. And of course, you can use your super chat function as well if you wish to do so. Just the QR code takes a much smaller percentage than YouTube do. But let's say hello to a few people and then let's get this fucking show on the road, people. Right then. Delap for 30 mil is a great deal. He knows Cole Palmer. He does know Cole Palmer. Yes. Yes, big up. Yes, big up. CFC, Stephen, hope you're doing well. Junior, all good, my brother. Get me, Gyokeres. I hear it. Yes, big up. Bro's trip was unbelievable. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, enjoyed it a lot. Not long until the Club World Cup. No, Club World Cup a couple of weeks away now. Yeah, the first of many. The first of many. Ticked off. Lovely stuff. Yeah, Poland was amazing. Great trip. Is Delap? Yeah, Delap will be available. That is a good point. I don't know for certain. I don't actually know if Delap will be available for the Club World Cup or not. No, Kane. I'm happy with the signing, absolutely. Great end to the season. Do I think Palmer will wear the 10? No, not next season, no. Joe Shields is the GOAT, fair enough. Delap, welcome to Chelsea. Yes. And let's start with that Liam Delap news then, guys. Obviously, we had the Here We Go last night from Fabrizio Romano. And we now have it confirmed that Chelsea have booked a medical for Liam Delap after agreement sealed on personal terms and £30 million release clause. Delap has also spoken to Enzo Maresca, a crucial factor to make the deal happen. Now, we've managed to we beat Man United to this deal, we beat Newcastle to this deal, Everton, Nottingham Forest. You know, we beat off a host of interest from other Premier League clubs to get this deal done, which, you know, I think is important for us. Absolutely, the Champions League played a big part in that. If we didn't have Champions League football to offer, I'm not sure, even despite Maresca, despite Palmer, Lavia, Joe Shields, I still don't know if we would have been able to pull this deal off if we didn't have the Champions League football to offer. People don't understand how important that Champions League football is, how important that European football is. So Liam Delap is the first one through the door. Do you know what? There's a lot of people, chat, who thinks, yeah, bro, funny enough, I was on the same flight out to Poland as Matisse. We were on the same flight and we got the same train down to Wrocław, 2-hour train. So, yeah, it was on the same flight as Matisse for that trip to Poland. Not that anyone really cares about that, but yeah, anyway. We have signed a striker, chat. We have. And, I mean, chat, what are your thoughts on this? Because I haven't actually looked into whether Chelsea can or can't recall him from the European Under-21 Championships. It depends how far England go, I suppose, as well. He could maybe make his debut at the Club World Cup. Again, not 100% sure if this is going to be the case or not. But regardless of whether he can or can't play at the Club World Cup, chat, we have got our first striker through the door. And I know some people aren't overly keen on Delap, don't think it's the best signing in the world. I understand that. And, I do have my concerns as well in terms of one season of Premier League experience. It's a very big transition from Chelsea to Ipswich. It's a huge step up. There's no guarantees he can make that step up. How's he going to be against the team that playing for Chelsea, where most teams will sit deep and make it hard? He won't have an awful lot of space. Whereas at Ipswich, there's a lot of play on the counter-attack and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with that transition. But I think for £30 million, given his quality, given his potential, it was an absolute no-brainer. And there was no surprise at all to see a whole host of Premier League clubs interested in him. And look, I'm pleased with being able to beat those other teams to his signature. And it is going to be really interesting to see how he does, chat. I mean, guys, let me know your thoughts. How do you think Liam Delap is going to do at Chelsea? It's really difficult to know. It's a signing that makes sense on paper. It's a signing that, is absolutely the right one to make, no doubt about it. And yeah, at £30 million, if there's no release clause in Delap's contract, this is probably a 50, 60 million pound transfer. No doubt about it. Probably a 50, 60 million pound transfer. And you'd think with better players around him, with Cole Palmer supplying him, Enzo Fernandez, Madueke, whether it's Esteval, Neto, you'd expect Delap to get a lot more chances. And the fact that he's got a great box presence, he's a good finisher, he's a better goal scorer than Nicholas Jackson, you'd imagine that our box play should get better. A lot of those crosses from the wide areas, Delap should be on the end of more of those chances. That's what you'd expect. But obviously, there's no guarantees in football, no givens. But at £30 million, he is absolutely he's absolutely a risk worth taking. It's a quantifiable risk, and it's a risk that is certainly worth the reward. It's not a huge transfer fee. So I don't think, as the Chelsea boy says here, I don't really think for £30 million, you can go too wrong with Liam Delap. I really don't think you can go too wrong at £30 million. Absolutely not. And this is the next thing. Before we move away from Delap, there's another report saying how important Enzo Maresca was in convincing Liam Delap to join. And I think Maresca deserves a lot of credit for this season, chat. A lot of credit for the way that the season's ended. I think it's really important. And Kieran Gill, who's excellent Chelsea reporter, by the way, Enzo Maresca is believed to have spoken with Delap as Chelsea pitched their project. He will fit into Chelsea's existing salary structure on a long-term deal. So that's important as well. There are reports of obviously, that Delap might want as much as 150k a week. Now, that probably would fit in Chelsea's existing structure, but I actually don't know if he's going to be, how much money Delap is going to be on. But Maresca obviously key in this as well. It's important, I don't think you can underestimate the role that, previous coaches and managers have with players potentially coming to the club. I mean, we basically are Manchester City 2.0 right now. Enzo Maresca, Joe Shields, Romeo Lavia, Cole Palmer, and now Liam Delap as well. Don't underestimate those friendships with Lavia, with Palmer. There was on Fabrizio Romano's Instagram post, there's a comment underneath from Wesley Fofana who'd written, "Great job, Romeo Lavia." So maybe Agent Lavia has also had a bit of a say. There's also a bit of a say in that deal. This is it, chat. Just like we completed the European set this week, just to complete the Manchester City set, we need to go. We need to go for Morgan Rogers to complete the City set. Agent, this is the thing, you know. These things are all multifaceted, chat. All multifaceted. By the way, over 100 in the building already, people. Keep smashing those likes. Let's get this up over 100 likes as quickly as possible, chat. As quickly as possible. Let's run it up. Keep subscribing if you're new around here as well. We are back with a bang. Did we enter the Champions League to sign championship level strikers? Bro, Delap's not a championship level striker. He is a Premier League striker. Is he a top level Premier League striker? This is the question that we will find out the answer to next season and beyond. But he absolutely isn't a championship striker. I think if you can't get Osimhen, Market doesn't have a clear guy to get. Look, I still think Gyokeres is the standout one. The standout one. Yes, big up. Yeah, bro, exactly. You know, it's all about that progress. Delap. Oh, hold on. Delap is mint and proved he can do it in the league. Well, he's proven it in one season he can do it in the league. I'm reticent to say, oh, by the way, Delap's proven in the Premier League. I don't think you're Premier League proven after one season. That for me is absolutely not the case. You're not Premier League proven after one season in the league playing for a side that got relegated. That doesn't make you Premier League proven. It gives you Premier League experience, by the way. It gives you Premier League experience, but what it doesn't make, you're not a proven Premier League player. Liam Delap, under no circumstances, in my opinion, is a proven Premier League. Is not a proven Premier League player. So does this mean Sesko is? Arsenal are red hot on Sesko right now. Arsenal are desperate to sign Benjamin Sesko. To be honest, it looks like we'll get to the Gyokeres stuff, but it looks like Chelsea have potentially got a bit of a free run at Gyokeres, which I know sounds a bit mental, but it looks like they do. It doesn't really look like Gyokeres seems to have that many suitors, which seems absolutely mad. It seems absolutely mad, but it looks like Gyokeres doesn't appear to have that many suitors, which is a bit of a strange one. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, bro. Yeah, absolutely. That price is absolutely mental. I don't get it. How are these owners looking into Ekitike, who will cost 80 to 90? It's just weird. Yeah, bro, I hear it. I absolutely hear it. But anyway, that is obviously the latest on Liam Delap. Deal done, medical booked. All that's left now is to complete that medical and sign the contract. So that should be imminent and official, in the coming days, chat. That should be official. First signing for the Chelsea, for the Kings of Europe. The first signing is Liam Delap this summer. And we've done really well to beat all other interested clubs to his signature. Delap was absolutely the main striker target. There's no doubt about it. Liam Delap, clear as day, was that main striker target, chap. Clear as day, this guy was the main striker target. And it remains to be seen if we will look at alternative striker targets, look to add a second striker or not. I don't... Yeah, I've seen that photo. Mate, Real Madrid don't need a striker. They might need a backup striker, but not a first choice striker. But anyway, that's the latest on Liam Delap. Deal done. And sticking with strikers, chat, because I think we need to be sticking with strikers, let's move on to Hugo Ekitike, because again, we've got contrasting reports about him. So, Chelsea remain interested. This is from Fabrizio Romano from his latest YouTube video. Chelsea remain interested in the situation of Hugo Ekitike, chat. They remain interested, but it's not something advanced. No big changes this week. Next week, we will understand more. Liverpool also informed, as well as Chelsea. So one thing that's absolutely clear, chat, is that Hugo Ekitike is going to leave Eintracht Frankfurt this summer. 22 goals this season for the France under-21 international. Obviously, it was good with Omar Mamouche in the first half of the season. Ekitike, as I've said on numerous occasions, chat, is a similar profile of player to Nicholas Jackson. I'm not sure how much sense it makes signing Ekitike when you have Nicholas Jackson in the squad already. But I mean, it is what it is at this point. That's not my decision to make. That's not my call. But it doesn't make much sense to me to have two strikers of a similar profile. Now, 100 million euros they want, which is outrageous. Looking at 80 to 90 million pounds for Ekitike. I personally don't see any club paying that much money. And as someone pointed out in the chat earlier, you know, Victor Gyokeres is there for 60, 65 million. Why on earth would you spend 20 to 30 million pounds more on Hugo Ekitike, who is nowhere near as proven? Again, with Ekitike, good when he was coming through at Reims, disaster at PSG, and then at Frankfurt, he was half decent on loan for the second half of last season. But this season has really been his breakout season. And I get it, at some point, you've got to take a gamble on players, but there's taking a gamble and then there's being stupid. You know, look, for example, if Ekitike was the same price as Delap, chat, I would probably be backing this move a bit more and wouldn't be as against it. Wouldn't be as against it. But at the end of the day, when you're talking silly money like that, if you're spending that sort of money on a player, right, you want a proven player to be coming in who you know is going to be an instant upgrade and is going to be a significant improvement. If I'm spending 70, 80, 90 million pounds on a number 9, I'm expecting that number 9 to come in and smash 20 goals in the league. I'm not expecting that number 9 to come in and need time to settle in, need time to do all this stuff, you know. It's brazy. It doesn't make sense. It's not about what he's done. It's about, and again, people need to realize with price tags, right? Price tags are the value of that player to the club. It doesn't necessarily represent market value. It represents the importance of said player to said club, you know? So it's not about, oh, is he worth that money? That's his value to Frankfurt, okay? It's as simple as that, chat. You know, the transfer fees reflect the value of said player to a club. That's where we're at with this, people. That's where we're at. So no way is Ekitike worth upwards of 70 million pounds. But to Eintracht Frankfurt, he's that important to them, hence why that price tag has been set. Now, of course, if they've got an agreement that Ekitike can leave, maybe there's room for negotiation and we'll see perhaps a bit of a drop in price and there could be room for negotiation, chat. But yeah, I'm not I have to be real. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. I just don't get it. Bro, there's buying for the future. There's buying for the future, and then there's thinking, actually, do you know what? We need to fucking get our brains into gear. We have got such a good opportunity this summer to put ourselves in an exceptional position to maybe challenge next season, because all the top teams are going through rebuilds. All the top teams are going through rebuilds. There's an opportunity here to be serious this summer and potentially put ourselves in the title race. Potentially put ourselves in the title race. But again, all this is going to depend. All this is going to depend on our intentions this summer. Now, again, informed, interested doesn't necessarily equate to, oh, they're moving for. But I think one thing that we can agree with here, chat, is that we do need another number 9. I wouldn't feel confident going in with Jackson, Delap, and Guillou. You know, we need one more. Jackson, Delap, and Sesko, Jackson, Delap, Gyokeres. You know, we need a third striker. If you're going to compete seriously and have the rotation, you know, we need a third striker. Simple as that. It's very, very simple, chat. A third striker is required. And yeah, sure, he might go to Liverpool. We don't know. But I tell you what, Liverpool are shelling out 115, 120 million pounds on Wirtz. They're not spending 70 to 80 million pounds on Ekitike. They're just not. I don't think Jackson is leaving the club. I'm not really too sure where people are getting this idea from that Nico Jackson will be leaving the club. I don't get it. I don't get it, chat. Where are people? Why are people thinking that? Look, Gyokeres is not trash, bro. He isn't. Look, again, Mateta is someone I like. I'm a massive fan of Mateta, but Gyokeres is not trash. Let's not be stupid here. No, I know we don't need Wirtz. I never said we need Wirtz. We may not. No, look, bro. There's absolutely a chance we might not get another striker. I'm fully aware of that, but I think it would be a massive anticlimax if at May 30th we've signed our striker, and that's it. It's like, yep, lived it, loved it. Farewell, chat. We've got our striker for the summer, and there's no more conversation about any strikers. There's no way that can be the case, chat. There's no way. Again, Brian Mbeumo is another player. I like him. 50 million quid. I think Man United are looking at potentially signing him. There's so many options we've got at our disposal. But again, that's the latest on the Ekitike situation. Chelsea are interested to remain informed. But for me, that transfer fee is just way too big. Way too big for a player as unproven as he is at this point in time. You know, I'm not going to be disrespectful to the Bundesliga. But if Delap can't play in the Club World Cup, chat, because of the European Under-21 Championships, then we potentially need to find another striker. And sticking with strikers, Fabrizio Romano has spoken about someone else who could potentially be joining the club. And yes, chat, you've guessed it. It is a potential move. Well, this is his opinion. Now, obviously, he's saying this with probably the best sources available to anyone in the game, but he's obviously framed it as this being his opinion. So, Fabrizio Romano, in his latest YouTube video, chat, my expectation is for Chelsea to pre-sign Amiga from Strasbourg this summer for 2026. So close the deal now and let the player join in 2026. Chelsea are already planning for 2026. Now, we've had links with Amiga before. This feels like a deal that is just bound to happen. You know, we've done a similar deal with Mamadou Sarr in January for the centre-back to join this summer. And I can absolutely see this happening. I think obviously, he joined Strasbourg last summer for 13 million euros from Austrian side Sturm Graz. And he's had one season, 14 goals in Liga this season just gone. Strasbourg getting Conference League football. Another season at Strasbourg, playing European football is going to be good for his development. And I wouldn't be against this. You don't really know how good this guy might become. I certainly wouldn't be against it. But I do agree, chat, that it's more than likely going to be one with profit in mind. More than likely, it's going to be one with profit in mind. So, again, depending on transfer fee as well. Depending on transfer fee as well. Depending on transfer fee as well, chat. I'm not dead against it. I'm not dead against it. We already know. I mean, look, he's 22 years of age, Dutch under-21 international. We already know that he's had serious interest from Premier League clubs, from West Ham, from Newcastle, amongst others, chat. And it's clear that Blucher are protecting their asset. He's a top asset. There's absolutely no doubt about it. He is a top level asset. Top level asset, chat. Top level asset. And bro, what is it? Sturmgratz? Gratz? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I imagine my pronunciation of Sturmgratz is shite. Sturmgratz? I don't know. Moritz, let me know how to pronounce Sturmgratz. I'm obviously doing that wrong, and I got battered on TikTok as well for my pronunciation of Rotclaw. It's actually Wrocław is how it's pronounced, but there we go. Yep, Sarr is from Senegal. Delap is good value for money, strong, fast, and can finish. He'll be a great signing and we'll link up. Yeah, I think he'll be a good signing. Bro, I've got no idea who that big player is going to be. And maybe it could be someone whose name is not even out there. Whose name is not even out there right now. But we have to wait and see. But it is certainly exciting times. Absolutely no doubt about it. But yeah, look, Amiga, I think we're going to get onto wingers in a sec, bro. We'll come back to this L2. Too much PR going on for clicks with a lot of top tier creators building fans' hopes up with pure bollocks. Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're just chatting news. We're chatting transfers. Let's wait and see what actually happens. I think, look, we can all agree that Delap is a pretty good signing, absolutely a gamble worth taking, no doubt about it. And we will move from there with the rest of it. You know, I tell you what, there's been very, very little links with centre-backs recently, chat. It's all been strikers. You know, the links to centre-backs have been, well, they've been non-existent, chat. They have been absolutely non-existent recently. I don't know what's going on with the centre-back situation. We're just going to be Arsenal for the next 10 years. No, I don't think we're going to be like Arsenal. I honestly think we're heading in the right direction. But again, this summer will dictate how things go. But this has been a positive season. You know, whatever happened, the ups and downs throughout it, we all said that Champions League football and winning the Conference League is what needs to happen. We achieved both of those things. Now it's time for the club to be serious and back this manager in the summer with what's required to take us to the next level. Delap is a small part of that, but he's not the main part, and we absolutely need more. We need Palmer back up. Wirtz is not coming. Wirtz is going to join Liverpool. Cherki, Manchester City are interested in Rayan Cherki as well. They've opened conversations with Lyon. No, I wouldn't. Bro, I can tell you that, Nat AB. I can tell you that, brother. That is absolutely not happening at all. Literally zero chance at all. Well, I mean, they weren't particularly strong, to be honest. There have been some Branthwaite links, but again, nothing serious, guys. Nothing concrete is the phrase, isn't it? Nothing concrete, chat. Nothing concrete as of yet. The best feeling will be waking up Monday and hit the here we go for Victor Osimhen, bro. I'm telling you now, that here we go for Victor Osimhen is going to be for Al Hilal. It's going to be for Al Hilal. I'm almost, I would say I'm 80-90% certain that he's going to the Saudi Pro League, but I don't see him going anywhere else personally. Absolutely no idea. Yes, big up, bro. I don't think it leaves him anywhere. You know, he knows full well that when you come to a big club like Chelsea, there's going to be competition for places. Bro, Osimhen didn't say he's not going to Saudi. One sort of person from Nigeria who is reportedly a close friend, says that's not happening. That's not Victor Osimhen saying he's not going to Saudi. All the reports are suggesting that Osimhen is heading in that direction to Saudi Arabia. That doesn't mean that it's a done deal, but there's a pretty good indication that he will be heading to the Pro League. You know, that is what the links are saying. That is what the reports are saying. So I think Chelsea fans that think Victor Osimhen is coming to the club need to prepare for disappointment. Need to prepare for disappointment. Yeah, a lot of them are. Obviously, we knew about Liam Delap because that interest was well documented. But yeah, you know, a number of deals have been done in silence. We do know that. So it's going to be interesting to see what we're working on. It's going to be interesting to see what we're working on. Yep, Quenda deal, a Sugu deal. You know, we've done them before. Vega, Neto. You know, there are a host of deals we've done in silence. I mean, I don't know what Gyokeres' wages are. It's not really been publicized anywhere. But there's not really any strong links to Gyokeres for anyone right now. But that is the latest on the striker front. Let's just quickly discuss Gyokeres, chat, before we move on to wingers. Let's quickly discuss Victor Gyokeres because there was a report. It is either yesterday. I think it was on Wednesday. That Chelsea had made an inquiry about Victor Gyokeres. And this was according to Record in Portugal. Now, I don't want to shit on the credibility of Record in Portugal, but I've got to be honest, chat. I'm not entirely sure on how accurate that is, because that is the only one. Where is it? Let me just quickly find it now, chat. Bear with me a sec. When the fuck was this? I just want to bring it up on screen so we can actually go through it, because I'm pretty sure there was a report from Record. No, I can't find it, chat. I can't find it. But there was a report from Record Portugal that that Chelsea had made an inquiry, but they were the only people who reported it. So I have to be real, chat. I'm not sure how true that is, but we will wait and see in due course, chat. We will wait and see in due course. He could well be. Him and Jackson will obviously rotate, but yeah, there's absolutely a chance that he could be the number one. Absolutely, there's a chance he'll be the number one. Well, there we go. But yeah, look, let's see. Look, I think Chelsea could get another striker. It may not be the plan right now. Because obviously I think we got one in. There'll be other important positions to address first. But yeah, it can't be ruled out, chat. It can't be ruled out is all I will say. That's all I'll say. It absolutely cannot be ruled out. So we wait and see what happens on that front. Bro, I'm telling you now, in the build up to the Club World Cup, we are in for an absolute madness. We are in for a madness, chat. We're in for a madness. It is going to be, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable, chat. It's going to be unbelievable. We're going to be here every single step of the way. We need 2 and then sell Jackson. Bro, we need 3 strikers. There's no point signing 2 strikers and then selling 1. We need 3 strikers. Simple as that. Maybe. I don't know. But let's see. Let's see. I mean, let's talk. Let's talk wingers. Because let's start with Jadon Sancho. Because Chelsea is still yet to make a decision on Jadon Sancho. But we'll start with Sancho before talking about Gittins, before talking about Nico Williams and all these lot. It's going to be on DAZN, free to air on DAZN. I don't know what part of the world you're from, brother, but yeah, it could also be on broadcasters from wherever you're from. But it will be free to air on DAZN. And I think some of it might even be on Channel 5 as well, if you are from the UK, chat. It might also be on Channel 5, but definitely on DAZN. Anyway, let's start with the Jadon Sancho stuff, because Chelsea still haven't made a decision on the winger. That is expected in the coming days. But before we do that, chat, before we do this, chat, let's just quickly deal with a piece of news that is coming through. Mate, it's like being in the fucking live newsroom, isn't it, boys? It's like being in the newsroom, chat. So, Ben Jacobs is currently on the football terrace. I will get Ben Jacobs on again at some point. Ben Jacobs is currently on the football terrace. Chelsea's priority, now Liam Delap is done, is to sign a right-footed left winger, which they will work on between now and when the Club World Cup starts. So, to answer someone's question earlier in the chat, obviously that is the current plan, is for Chelsea to sign a right-footed left winger before the Club World Cup. Ben Jacobs has finished football terrace. Fine. All good. So, yeah. So they're looking for a right-footed left winger, chat, before the Club World Cup. So let's wait and see what deal can be done. Let's wait and see what sort of agreement we can reach with interested parties. But the winger situation is going to be an interesting one, chat. It's going to be an interesting one. By the way, guys, keep smashing the like button. We're 222 in the building. Only 101 likes. Make sure you are smashing that like button. Get this up to 120, 130 likes, chat. And please keep subscribing if you're new around here. It's going to be going off this summer. The channel is always packed. The chat is always packed at this time of the year with the transfer season. This is where we come alive, guys. It is the place to be. So make sure you're subscribed and introduce yourself in the chat as well. Introduce yourself to the community, people. This is the place to be this summer. So let's move away from that. So obviously, there we go. We're going to now discuss Jadon Sancho, because Chelsea, as I was saying, still haven't reached an agreement yet for Jadon Sancho. They haven't decided whether they are going to keep him or not. So obviously, as we know, obligation to buy £25 million. Chelsea haven't decided whether they'll pay that 5-minute penalty fee. Sancho's had a mixed season, as we know, but he come off the bench and he slapped one top bins in that Conference League final. And I've and ahed about this decision for Jadon Sancho, whether we should or whether we shouldn't keep him. There was at one point, sort of January to March time, where I was like, absolutely, we need to get rid of him. The guy's been absolutely terrible. But he has finished the season quite strongly. And that's made me somewhat change my mind and change my thinking on it. For £25 million, for someone who's going to be a squad player, a third or fourth choice winger, for 25 million, I think you'll find one. I think you'll find it difficult to find someone for that price and of that quality to do a similar role in the squad. Now, the issue is that Sancho will need to take a pay cut. We know that. We're not going to pay him anywhere near the money he was on at Manchester United. But I get the feeling he's happy here. He likes it here. He enjoys being at Chelsea. So it will be in his best interests to take a pay cut because, let's be real, other than Saudi Arabia, no one is paying Jadon Sancho the current wages that he's on. Absolutely no one is paying those current wages for Jadon Sancho. So you look at that and you think, yeah, okay, I've got a great opportunity here to continue my career. If Jadon Sancho decides, if Chelsea can't come to an agreement with Sancho, then I think it's pretty clear in my mind's chat that Sancho won't get another big club. He won't get another top club like Chelsea. He absolutely won't. He won't get a top club like Chelsea. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. I mean, surely we're going to come to some sort of compromise and some sort of agreement. Surely we are. I mean, surely there's no way we can't come. We don't come to Sancho won't come to an agreement with us. It's got to be in his best interests to come to that agreement. And look, Sancho will stay. But guys, by the way, chat, this won't be the winger signing. By the way, this won't be the winger signing that we're talking about. This is very much going to be, a separate deal. We're looking to bring one more in. Maresca wants 5 wingers. He wants 5 wingers, chat. So Esteval, Noni, Neto, new signing, and Sancho. That works. That works. And he's cheap as well. He's cheap. Again, like Delap, it's a low risk signing. It's a low risk signing. So look, I'd expect to have a decision over the weekend or into next week. That's what I would be expecting. Yeah, absolutely. That sort of decision. Yeah, in the next few days, at some point next week. But I have to say now, chat, I would be very, very surprised if we couldn't reach some sort of agreement for Sancho. I would be very surprised. Very, very surprised. Yeah, I just don't see it, because where else does he think he's going to go for that money? If we can get a deal with Sancho, 120, 150 with bonuses or whatever, then that's absolutely fine. As long as he agrees to fit into the wage structure, then no issues at all. As long as he agrees to fit into the wage structure, then I've got absolutely no problem. Absolutely no problem. Absolutely no problem. But he has to fit into the wage structure. Well, yeah. If I'm not getting a move if no one else is paying me that money that I'm on already, then yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you don't have a choice, and Sancho doesn't have a choice, really, because no one else is paying him that money. No one else is going to pay him that money. So he's in a position where actually, do you know what? He does need to go. He does need to take a pay cut. At the end of the day, chat, regardless of whether Jadon Sancho stays at Chelsea, unless he's going to Saudi Arabia, he is going to have to take a pay cut. He has to. Dortmund aren't paying... Brother, Dortmund are not paying Sancho the money he's on right now. Absolutely no way are they doing that. No way are Dortmund paying that money. No way. But yeah, I'd keep Sancho for a squad player. absolutely be keeping Sancho for a squad player. It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. So let's wait and see what happens. Hopefully they can come to an agreement and we move on and we have Sancho as part of the squad. And I think he can be an important part of the squad for all the games we're going to play next season, Club World Cup, 4 competitions next season. We're going to need options. We're going to need rotation. And, in this day and age, in this market, then it's going to be very interesting. What happens to George? George, I think, goes on loan, or I wouldn't even be entirely surprised if Tyreek George is sold. I've got to be brutally honest, chat. I wouldn't even be surprised if Tyreek George was sold. And just quickly, chat as well, before we move on, Quenda's coming in 2026. So I'm sure by that point, someone will be sold either this summer or next summer. Just on regards to people that were asking me earlier about Nico Jackson, Chelsea still rate and appreciate Nico Jackson. Let's hold fire for now until Chelsea decide and discuss on that position more. I also understand there's a lot of games going on in Germany around Ekitike, who is a target, but not moving as fast yet as some say. So there's not really a great deal of surprise there. Bro, he's not going to sacrifice a year of his career to sit and rot at Man United just so he can get more money. Some players might do that, but I wouldn't be on that at all. I wouldn't be on that at all. Wouldn't be on that whatsoever, chat. Yes, all good, brother. Hope you're well. What's happening on the keeper situation? Nothing. What about Florian Wirtz? Bro, we don't need Wirtz. We don't need Wirtz. Liverpool are going to sign Wirtz. We don't need Wirtz. It's very simple. Very, very simple. So there we go. But yeah, anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. And that was, is Jamie Gittins. And again, there was quite a lot of talk about Gittins and there wasn't that much. And now the Gittins stuff is coming back, chat. The Gittins stuff is on its way back. Romano last night in his latest YouTube video, chat, saying that remember that Chelsea love Jamie Gittins from Dortmund. He is one of the players on the list, not the only one. So for sure, he's one of the players they are considering. Now, Gittins, I think, scored 12 goals for Dortmund last season. 20 years of age. He's an England under-21 international. Imagine he's another one who's going to the England under-21 internationals. Euros. And chat, I've got a little question for you. Guess where Jamie Gittins came from? Guess where Gittins came from, chat, before he joined Dortmund as a 16-year-old or 17-year-old? Guess where Gittins came from, chat? I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to guess, but yeah, get your answers in. Get your answers in, chat, as to where Jamie Gittins came from, because yeah, he absolutely did. Gittins came from the Man City Academy. He came through the ranks at City. So yeah, there we are. There we are. Came through at City, of course, chat. I'm really in two minds about this, because on the one hand, I'm like, well, look, Gittins, again, is a young, talented player. He's not ready to come in and make an impact. We've already got Esteban, who's going to be like our project winger. We don't need another project winger in Gittins, and that's what Gittins would be. Gittins, this is the thing, right? Right now, Jamie Gittins is no better than he's no better than anything we've got. Could it be better? Could it be better? Yeah, absolutely. He could be better. No chance. No doubt about it. He could be better. He could be better than what we've got in the future. But right now, he's not an upgrade on what we've got. He's not an upgrade on what we've already got. So that's my concern. When looking at a winger signing, right? Do we want to go in with the same quality of wingers as we did last season? We need an upgrade. Esteval coming in is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but we can't be putting pressure on him to perform from day one. So we're going to need alternative options. We're going to need alternative options, and we're going to need someone who, for me, is starting level quality. Has to be starting level quality. And right now, we don't have that. I mean, Cherki, again, I've been banging this Cherki drum. Cherki is someone, in my opinion, who Chelsea should absolutely be looking at. And I don't know why. I don't know why we aren't. You know, the Morgan Rogers stuff, I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure on it. I'm not sure on this Morgan Rogers stuff. I mean, part of me would love it. And yeah, sure, Champions League might help us there. I don't know why Cherki wouldn't fit in, because Cherki can be backup 10 and he can play on the left side as well. So why wouldn't Cherki fit in? Cherki can absolutely play on the left-hand side, chat. He can absolutely play on the left-hand side. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're doing here, but Cherki can absolutely play on the left-hand side, chat. You know, if you look at, let's look at, let me just quickly look at Cherki on Transfermarkt. Because I'm pretty sure he's 21 years of age. He obviously won the league. He's not capped. He's been called up to the France squad for the first time. Cherki can absolutely play on the left-hand side. I think he got the most assists in Liga last season. He got 11. And I'm pretty sure, chat, he can play on the left-hand side. Yeah, 8 goals, 11 assists. He's got 20 assists, by the way, chat. 20 bloody hell, we've got 32 GNA in 44 appearances. 8 goals and 11 assists in 30 Liga appearances. In 12 Europa League appearances, 4 goals, 8 assists. So 12 GNA in 12 Europa League appearances. So 20 assists last season. 20 assists. And again, as a right winger, so he's a right winger mainly. So he's played 21 times on the right last season, 10 times in the 10, and twice on the left. So predominantly the right, but can play left and can play as a 10. So he's kind of a versatile forward player. And again, at that sort of price, chat, he wouldn't be bad. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that I think these players would be good signings. That is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You could even, exactly, it gives, and this is the thing, it gives you options. It gives you options. I think we have had, I think we have had previous interest in Cherki. We know that Man City are exploring a move. We know Man City are exploring a move for Cherki. We know that. We know. You know, there's no denying that. We are exploring a move for Cherki. We know that, chat. We know that. Perfect left wing. It would be limiting Palmer to right wing. I mean, look, not every game it wouldn't, because Cherki wouldn't start every game. Plus, Cherki can start left or right with Palmer in the 10. But it's important to have good alternative options, and he would absolutely. Bro, we're not getting Rodrigo. We're not getting Rodrigo. But we don't need. It doesn't necessarily need pace. You know, he's not like he's slow. There's not been anything really on that Lazio defender. I think he's called Mira. There's been nothing on him. I mean, look, I don't mind Palmer being on the right or in a 10, but ultimately, guys, we need alternative options. It really is as simple as that. We desperately need alternative options. I don't know. I'd probably say on the 10 in the 10, but again, you know, he can also be good on that right hand side. But I would probably say, I'd probably say best in the 10. By the way, chat, keep smashing the like button. 130 likes. Let's get this up to 150. We're on 247 in the building. Keep subscribing to the channel if you are new round here as well, chat. Please do. I would greatly appreciate it. So run these likes up and keep subscribing, people. We could, but we won't. With Cherky, we would even rotate during the game with... Yeah, we could do. Bro, I know Rodrigo's not happening. Like, I've already made peace with that fact a long time ago. Esteval can prefer 10, but he's not going to be playing there. Esteval can absolutely prefer the 10, but he's not going to play there. Don't see Osimhen going United. No, he's not. Bro, yeah. Nah, nothing on Yildiz. Nothing on Yildiz. No, I don't think so. I personally don't think so. No, I don't think Palmer's played most. Yeah, sure. You know, he found a position on the right-hand side for both goals, but he wasn't playing on the right. He wasn't playing on the right. And even if he starts on the right, he still drifts centrally anyway. You know, this idea that Palmer's not a 10, I don't subscribe to that. You know, I don't think. I don't think that needs to. I don't think, you know, it's as big a deal as what people are making out. Bro, we're not going to get Rodrigo because it's too expensive, and Xabi Alonso has already said that he wants to keep him as part of the project. Bro, he's played most of the season as a 10. And he's had a good season, you know. He's had a good season. Obviously not as good as last season, but that was always going to be very difficult. But he's had a good season. You know, he's had a good season. So I don't really know what people are talking about. Bro, United wanted to bring Greenwood back before people rightfully made a fuss about it. You know, they wanted to bring him back. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was mostly on the... Yeah, sure. But he was literally playing a free role on that right-hand side. He was playing a free role on that right-hand side. All I'm saying is if you look at Palmer's numbers this season, right, the only reason he's got less goals and less assists is because he's missed chances that he scored last season and his teammates haven't converted the opportunities that he's been creating. That's why his numbers aren't as good as what they were last season. Ultimately, you know, people can think he's better on the right, fine, but we've still achieved our goals this season with him playing as a 10. Whether it's 10 or right, I don't really care, to be perfectly honest. I'm not really that fussed, but he's not going to play on the right, really, because Maresca plays touchline wingers. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, and also less pens because we probably had less pens than last season as well. Bro, I mean, I don't know where you're feeling that from. But again, that's simply not true. Just look at the numbers. Look at the chances he's creating. Look at the chances he's missed as well. That just simply is such a false narrative. That is totally untrue. Totally untrue. Yeah, I hope so as well. I hope that's the case for a number of players, for Neto, for Palmer as well. You know, hopefully a striker will have these to help convert these chances. Oh, bro, yeah, what they can, yeah, whatever. Not, it's not important. It's not important, is it? It's not important. We do need a striker. Agreed. We've got one, but we do need another one. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens with this Gittins deal. Let's wait and see what happens with this Gittins deal. I'm not that interested in it, to be honest. I'm really not that interested in it. But hey, let's wait and see what happens. The club will do what the club wants to do. That's the reality here. The club, as always, chat, will do what they want to do. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see on that front. By the way, chat, we're 10 away from 150 likes. We've got 254 in the building. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Get this up to 150, chat, and keep subscribing as well. Yeah, but that's probably on their like gossip column. I don't think that's being factually reported. So let's wait and see. Nah, I don't think so. I personally don't see that. Bro, again, I don't think that's true at all. You know, Chelsea are not going to sell Andre Santos for 60 million euros. I've got absolutely no idea. I mean, I've read that report. I've got no idea where that report has come from. Absolutely no idea where that report has come from. But it is what it is. I don't see Santos going anywhere. I don't see him going anywhere. But the wide player is going to be interesting because, again, chat, the links to Nico Williams are not going away. They're not going away. And there has to be a reason for that. There has to be a reason why the links to Nico Williams are just not going away. Why is that? Why are the links to Nico Williams not going away? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Why are the links to Nico Williams not going away? Yeah, exactly. Because we don't technically own Sancho, so we couldn't do that. We wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, look, I do like Nico Williams. But again, you know, the transfer fee is fine. It's 58 million euro release clause. What's the sticking point is going to be the wages. But Nico Williams is absolutely a player I would be interested in Chelsea signing for sure. Absolutely, chat. I don't think he's. Look, I think certain people will overrate him for sure. Of course they will. Certain people will absolutely overrate Nico Williams. There's no doubt about that. But I think he'd be great for this system. You know, he knows Marc Cucurella as well. That was the left-hand side for Spain in the Euros. You know, you could see that system again working well. But again, yeah, the wage structure is going to absolutely be an issue. Yes. Smash up the likes, people. Smash them up. The 7 players for me that cannot be sold this window. You know, no, we're not going to sell them. Bro, 58 million euros is not a bad fee for Nico Williams at all. Not a bad fee for Nico Williams at all. Osimhen's not going to go to Barcelona. But yeah. I mean, transfer fees aren't set by agents, by the way. transfer fees are not set by agents. 58 million euros release clause is not expensive for Nico Williams. That's like what, 50 million quid or just under? That is not bad at all. Yeah, I mean, who said that Nico Williams doesn't improve Chelsea? Because that's wild. He absolutely improves Chelsea. What outgoings can I see happening? Yeah, Nico Williams is on a lot of money. A lot of money. You know, I don't know how much scope we've got to change that. I don't know how much scope we've got to change that. Yeah, and that's euros as well, by the way, chat. That's euros. So yeah, we're in a good position, there. But let's wait and see what happens. Yeah, I think that's probably right. Unless on a very rare occasion you might do both. On a very rare occasion you might do both. But let's see. Let's see on that front. Please just get Madueke out the door. I disagree with that. I don't think that's fair. In my opinion, I'd be keeping him. Again, I wouldn't be against him, Buemo. I wouldn't be against him, Buemo coming. But let's move away from that Nico Williams stuff, and let's quickly to round out chat because I've got to go out and do some filming for for something. Let's just discuss Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku expected to leave Chelsea this summer, as we already know. Bayern made the approach in January, and Nkunku was keen. We know that. Chelsea wanted 60 million euros, and back then, with a view to getting more than they paid. Nkunku would welcome a new Bayern bid and is also open to staying in the Premier League. Understand Spurs have inquired and are the most concrete Premier League suitor currently. Links with Newcastle and Liverpool are wide of the mark. Spurs have inquired about Nkunku, chat. Mad. Absolutely mad. I mean, could I see Nkunku going to Spurs? I would be very, very surprised. I mean, chat, it can't be ruled out, but I'd be shocked if Nkunku went to Spurs. Yes, there's going to be Champions League football. We know there's going to be Champions League football. But I can't see that. You know, we're not going to get more money than we paid for Nkunku. At an absolute best, chat, we'd get our money back in a best case scenario. But I think you're looking at something like £40 million for Nkunku. I really do. We know that Nkunku's done at Chelsea. I think you're looking at 40 million quid for him. I think you're looking at 40 million quid. But 40. I think to be honest, Spurs would. I think Spurs would pay 40. Would Bayern go back in? Would Bayern go back in for him? But who are they getting that from though? Who are they getting that from? Is what I want to know. That's the question I want to know. Who are they getting that money from? Because I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, it's mental, absolutely mental. I mean, Spurs did get Tell on loan, but Tell will go back to Bayern and could be sold this summer somewhere else. Yeah, but Mount had actually done something for Chelsea, as had Havertz, in terms of contributing to the Champions League win. Nkunku hasn't contributed anything to Chelsea at all. Bro, they wouldn't pay 60 million for him. Nkunku has done nothing at Chelsea. Absolutely nothing. I don't know how. I don't know how we are possibly saying, chat, that we think we can get a profit on Nkunku when he's not been a success at the club. How on earth do we think we're getting a profit? How on earth do we think that? There's surely no way we think that. Yeah, it was good we didn't. It was good we didn't. Bro, Juventus aren't paying that. This is exactly what I think. Like, if I'm wrong, because one, okay, he was English. Secondly, he'd been a key player for Chelsea, contributing to the Champions League success, 2-time Chelsea Player of the Year as well. That's why he was worth more money than Nkunku, because Nkunku's been shit for Chelsea. You know, it's not about who's a better player. It's about the circumstances at the time. And I'm sorry, Nkunku has been shit at Chelsea, done nothing. Mount did way more at Chelsea than Nkunku did, coming off a Champions League win, coming off being 2-time Chelsea Player of the Season, and proven in the Premier League. Plus, obviously, English and whatnot, so it's a bit more. Nkunku with Chelsea... Exactly. No, he wasn't. Bro, are you mad? Honestly, it's baffling how some people think these things. How on earth was he shit for Chelsea? I mean, that's honestly an incredible take. An absolutely incredible take. Absolutely incredible take. A key player in our Champions League triumph, but apparently he was absolutely shit for Chelsea. Interesting. Bro, just because he's gone doesn't mean you have to hate him and say he was shit. He was good for us. Simple as that. He was good for us. And anyone saying otherwise is utterly deluded. Mount was good for us, you know. Yeah, look, Nkunku is still a good player, but he just doesn't suit Chelsea. It doesn't suit Chelsea. Mount was good for Chelsea, you know. That's no English bias or anything. He could be fucking French, Brazilian, or whatever. Mount was good for Chelsea. The chat's moving a bit mad today. He was good for us, you know. He was good for us. But anyway, chat, I've got to round this one out. Otherwise, I'm going to be late for this shoot. So yeah, I need to get out of here, guys. Big love for all the support. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Big love to the chat today. Chat, I'll be back later on. If there's any more major news, we'll be back again live later tonight. If not, I will see you all tomorrow for all the latest transfer news. It's good to be back. Big love for all the support. As I always say, guys, the shows are nothing without you. Big love to the chat. Please do smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Road to 20k. Make sure you smash the subscribe button. Smash the likes. Enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoon. Let's see what the next 24 hours has got in store for us. Up the Chelsea, and I'm out. Peace.